Now, out of these 3 designs, which one do you think generated the most leads and sales? Hello beautiful people, it's Mizco here. Now, if you want to become a much more strategic, tactical, and impactful UX designer, make sure to sit through this entire video because I'm going to be walking you through a real design experiment that I launched that helped a company increase their conversion rates all the way up to 30%. Now imagine, Friday afternoon, you've had a long week's worth of work, all you want to do is stuff your face with some dirty food. And you grab your phone and you're looking through Uber Eats. You decide, I feel like some pizza, right? So you order yourself a large pizza, you turn on Netflix and you turn on your favorite show, SpongeBob. You finish the pizza in 15 minutes and you're stuffed and your stomach starts to churn and you're feeling, oh, that did not feel too good. So you run to the toilet and you smack bang, you sit on the toilet. But you forget it's winter and the seat's extremely cold, so you get back up and then you go back down again, slowly. And you ease into that seat, warm it up slowly. Now you're sitting there trying to relax, you grab your phone because your phone helps you relax on the toilet, and you open up YouTube, you flick over to Mizco's channel, you go through all his videos, you gently smash that like button. 30 minutes passed, you're done, but you try to reach over and you try to flush the toilet, but the toilet can't seem to flush through. So what do? You grab your phone once again, you jump onto Google and you search North Sydney plumbers. And then you see a screen like this. And you decide to click on one of the results. And then you're taken to a landing page. And the landing page says, get 3 free quotes from trusted plumbers today. And they're asking you for your first name, your last name, your email, and your contact number. And then there's a CTA to get 3 free quotes. Now this was an experiment that we launched. I want you to have a think about it. How do you think this landing page performed? Have a quick think. Was it good, excellent, bad, didn't work? Have a quick think. Now I want you to have a think about what did we do well and what we didn't do well. Have a think about that as well. Give you a couple of seconds. Now this initial experiment flopped. Did not perform well at all. We got a couple of % of a conversion rate. So for example, if we sent 100 people to the actual web page, we might get 1 or 2 leads come through. That is a very poor result. So what did we do well here? Now when we designed this initial experiment, and I say experiment because we intentionally wanted to try all our ideas. Whether they were good, bad, we wanted to test them because when you are a UX designer, you don't want to just know what works. You need to also know what doesn't work and you need to validate that. The power of validation is that it gives you a better understanding of the 2 sides of the coin. Now, what we did do well in this landing page was that 1, we made it very clear about what you were going to get. So if you're looking for a plumber, you were going to get 3 free quotes by simply entering some details. What we didn't do well is personalize it. Now you need to remember as a designer, you don't just create beautiful and simple user interfaces. You need to solve key problems for someone. So in my situation, the challenge and the pain points that I was facing was I clogged up my toilet. It was a bit of an emergency. I needed a plumber to solve my issue in North Sydney. When you take a look at this, even though the input fields are very simple and it's somewhat enticing, right? I can get 3 free quotes and I can by just putting my first name, last name, email, and contact number. But you need to remember, when someone browses to your website, they don't know who you are, they don't trust you at all. They're trying to find a service that they would trust, that they're happy to invest time into because they believe that you're able to deliver them a good experience. By asking me for some personal details does not convince me and does not feel compelling that you are going to tailor a personalized experience for the challenges or problems that I am facing right now. So that is why this landing page did not perform. So the second iteration of this landing page we did was we improved it with this. So take a look at what we did here. You've got a title and then we've added some additional form elements onto this page. Now, what I want you to have a think about is what did we do well in this and what didn't we do well? I want you to have a very quick think about this. Give you a couple of seconds. And I'll also preview some of the work that we did as well. Alright, so hopefully you got some ideas over here. Now, What we did was, when someone was looking for a specific tradesperson, for example, a plumber, what we wanted to do was personalize that experience a little bit more. And that was by providing more detailed questions that would help the user understand that we are going to tailor this experience for you. Now, generally, a lot of designers might think, whoa, there's too much clutter, too many questions, this needs to be simplified, we need to make this look good. But this actually increased the conversion rate by 20%. Why? So what I did was, I included where the suburb that the person was at. So once again, I'm trying to tailor this experience as much as I can for that specific customer. Since they search for North Sydney in Google, we can detect that on the front end. We can pull those keywords into our title depending on what they search for. So I wanted to make sure that if the person is searching for a North Sydney plumber, that we tell them that we are going to get them North Sydney plumbers, not just a general plumber. Now, because of my situation, remember what I went through. My personal situation was I clogged the toilet with a couple of bricks and I needed someone as soon as possible to fix my toilet. I can't have bricks floating around. So because we answered those questions, answered those concerns, and answered those anxieties, when do you need this started? The user straight away feels like we are personalizing this experience for them, enriches the experience, and also increases that perceived value, which encourages them to proceed through the form. So what we realized was by adding more to the page, actually significantly raised and increased those conversion rates. Now, it's important to understand, you don't add things for the sake of adding things. You need to add things to the page which helps answer and solve pain points and questions that a potential customer is going to be asking. That is why adding all this information, even though it feels cluttered and there was a lot of bloat, it was answering pain points, and that is what customers want to see. So this is actually something that I want to put forward to you to help you become a better UX designer and not jump into conclusions about simplifying things, removing things from the page, and making your designs look minimal is the best practice. It isn't, and you really need to make sure you are asking the right questions for your customers. Now, even though this design increased conversion rates by 20%, we don't feel complacent. As a designer, we should always be striving for high conversion rates, better performing landing pages, and really building a product that people love. So what we did from here was we actually took this design and created another iteration because we always want to keep striving for a better solution. And that is where we created this. Now, what we did here was we actually turned that form into a 4-step process and we simplified it. Now, we also added all the questions into a modal. So when a user came to the actual design onto the web page, the modal was the key focus. So the user's eye is drawn to these form fields. Now you might be thinking, Ms. Why are you advocating for bad UX practices? Because modals aren't that great. Well, I challenge that because in my opinion, whatever tactic or whatever element or component we use, as long as we are getting more customers, as long as more people are actually getting through the funnel and getting to the value that we want to provide them, I believe that is the best route. It's not about what people say is best practice. It's about what can you do to actually get the customer through the door. Now, you can create the most beautiful design following the best UX practices, but if you struggle to get a customer to sign up, to get it through the funnel, and to actually become a lead, then I question whether or not that is actually good UX. Now, this experiment continued to increase that conversion rate further. And I strongly believe it's because, one, we understood from the previous experiment we were asking the right questions, but we felt that there was a little bit too much happening on the page. So we maintained the same philosophy of asking the questions, asking them about the urgency of when they need it, but we simplified it to reduce that cognitive load. So they could finish that entire form in 4 steps, but also asking the right questions, which is ultimately the perfect combination to move them from landing on the website to actually becoming a lead. Now, hopefully you found value in this design experiment, and I personally have been running a lot of these design experiments to help businesses increase their conversion rate. Now, I want you to understand, imagine this website was receiving around 50,000 leads a month. This is a very average number for a mid-sized startup. Now imagine you increase the conversion rate by 20%. 50,000 leads increase of 20% is 10,000 extra leads. Now imagine each lead was worth maybe $10. That's very, very low. But for example's sake, additional 10,000 leads by $10 is an extra $100,000 in additional revenue that the company can keep through simple optimizations of the UX design. So that is the power of tactical and strategic UX design, and how understanding marketing and copywriting and joining a couple of additional skill sets into a UX design process can make you a very, very valuable UX designer. Now, if you want to learn a little bit more about my very own unique perspective on UX design, UI design, and also freelancing, make sure to check the link in the description. I am going to be releasing a number of courses over the next 6 to 12 months, everything to help you become a legendary designer. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in another video very soon.